Good afternoon. Welcome to the tea table. I am so happy you have joined me today. And you know, we just had a very special day yesterday, and it was Epiphany, the 12th day of Christmas. And it is a very special day celebrated around the world in every country, and it signifies the three kings coming and giving their gold, frankincense, and myrrh to Jesus. And you know, they were the people that followed the star. And it is such a beautiful picture of light shining in the darkness, which is what Christmas is. And you know, we have covered on our tea talks during the Christmas season, we went from Thanksgiving into the first week of Advent, which also included, remember, St. Nicholas Day, December 6th, and then we went on, and on December, I think it's 5th actually, is St. Lucia Day. We covered her, the Scandinavian saint that also brings light. And remember, she brought the special cakes made out of saffron, actually rolls out to her family in the morning. And then, of course, we went on to Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day, and then New Year's Eve, and then New Year's Day, and now we're at the 12th day of Christmas, Epiphany. Now, if you haven't gotten your tea yet, please pause, and I will be waiting for you. Okay, today, because of Epiphany, the symbolic color of Epiphany is gold. And I'm wearing a gold necklace because the wise men brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh to Messiah. And they worshiped him on bended knee. Yes. And I have a special pot here that is gold and a special cup. And I'm going to show you first. I have a cup for you and a cup for me. And these are little red and maroon and gold cups. They're small. And then I have the special, this gold pot is sitting on a special tray. I will show you in a minute. You know, this pot is very tricky. I don't know why the lid doesn't want to stay on. So I'm going to put down the tea, hold the lid, which is a good idea. If you have pots that you are not quite sure of, you hold the lid to make sure it's going to be secure. Yes. And you know, the sugar bowl here is so pretty with this. Let me show you the sugar bowl. It's gold also. And it also has the lid, almost the same lid, but it stays on. And then we have the creamer. And I like to put just a little splash of cream in my tea. Now I know some of you like lemon. Some of you like cream. I like a little milk in my tea. And should we try it? I'm using that Yorkshire Gold tea from England that my son brought me from his friend's family from Nottingham. But the tea is very famous in England, and it's called Yorkshire Gold. Okay, well now I'm going to pick up this tray and show you what I have for you. Do you see how pretty the tray is? And that is a napkin ring with a rose on it. And I wanted to show you that. They are so fun, and I've had them out for Christmas on my table. And they have the gold and on the green, and it just feels like Epiphany to me, with lots of gold sparkle and on the red napkin. Now the little treat is very special. This is very special. This is called krumkake, and it's a Norwegian, Swedish, Scandinavian cookie. I have it in the silver. I'm presenting it in a special silver dish. And what they look like ice cream. I am wondering if they are the first ice cream cone, because they make them on the griddle. They turn them. My mother used to make these. I actually have her krumkake maker, but I did not make these. My son Gabe, his friend Kat, she brought them to us for Christmas. Thank you, Kat. And they're from Kat's mother, who made them. And we are so excited to have them. I saved them for this special tea talk. And you see, you just put a little cream and it's twirled around, and it's called krumkake. Now, krum, I believe, means like light cookie, and kaka is cake in Norwegian. You know, they'll also have the bread with all the kind of cardamom bread that has the different fruit in it, and it's called julekake. Now, I thought they called it that because the little pieces of fruit look like jewels. But as I grew up, I found out that jul meant Christmas in Norwegian, and in many countries, actually, Jule. So the kaka is cake, and so these are little krumkakes, and I want you to take one and enjoy. They're very light. They're, you know, almost all the Scandinavian cookies have the same ingredients in different forms: butter, sugar, eggs, cream, little bit of flour. Very light. The cookies are light. Well, I've got my fur on today because it's still very cold, very cold. And I just think that, you know, what Epiphany really means is the light. And I put this wonderful candle here for you, and it's shining today for you and me. And on it, I put this little ornament, and it's a fun, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can pull it out and show you. I love this ornament. It's a little church. It's a gold church. And you know, throughout all of the world, the little church, where village or town or the cathedral or the little village church, they shine out the light of Christ. And the tradition was in Europe, in the Middle Ages, the cathedral was to be the highest building in the town with the cross at the top. And it was an honor to God, saying, Christ, you are ruling and reigning over our town, and we honor you. Now we have so many big buildings coming that a lot of these churches are just little, but they're still there. And I know when I first went to London in the early 1970s, I believe St. Paul's Cathedral was the highest building, and the outline of London is, at that time, you will see it in, I believe, in Mary Poppins, when they dance on the roof and they see the outline of London. That's the old outline of London, but that's changed now. They have the big London Eye, which is a big Ferris wheel. They have the big buildings like us. And so the buildings that used to seem so big there do not seem quite as big. In some ways, it's sad to lose that beautiful London skyline, isn't it? But progress moves on, and we, I guess, have to move with it. Well, when I was thinking of Epiphany, I wanted to play some beautiful Epiphany songs for you because, you know, in the hymn book, if you go to a church that is liturgical, and that means a church that follows the church year, and that would be the Lutheran, the Episcopalian, the Catholic, the Presbyterian, to a degree, follow. But what it is Advent, that first Sunday in Advent, the first Sunday in December, is the beginning of the new church year. And then it progresses. And Epiphany is actually a church, you know, holy day. And it's a celebration of the three kings. And it's symbolic of bringing our gifts to God and using, I say it's using our gifts, whether it be singing, speaking, writing a poem, being kind to someone, serving in the community, whatever the gift is, that is giving your gift back to others and to God. And so Epiphany is very special. And you know, that's kind of the last day of Christmas in the Western world. However, in the Eastern Church, which, you know, was originally, you remember the church split in the Middle Ages, late Middle Ages, and you had the Eastern Orthodox Church, which was established in Constantinople. And that covers all of Russia and Greece and wherever else Eastern Orthodoxy is. Well, their last day of Christmas is February 2nd, which is called Candlemas Day, and it represents Mary when she brought Jesus to the temple 40 days to have him blessed. And what some of the very deeply religious people in the East will do is they will take all the ornaments off the tree, leave the white lights or candles in those days, and then put white turtle doves all on the tree, symbolizing, and that's called Candlemas Day, February 2nd. So for them, that's considered the last day of Christmas, and then the church calendar starts going into, you know, in the end of February, you're going into Lent, and you know, you have 40 days of Lent, and then you have Easter. So the whole world, especially the Middle Ages, the church calendar dominated, and people, that's why when you read old books, they'll say, I will see you by Michaelmas. Well, that was, or Michaelmas, but it's really for St. Michael. That was his day, and that was his season. And so many times in the old books, they'll say, I will be there by Easter, or I, you know, have been there through, they'll say another Saint's Day, because they had all these different celebrations for different saints. And that means people that did special things in church history. It doesn't mean that in God's eyes they are higher than anyone else. It was actually an honoring of people like Augustine, St. Augustine, 4th century, you know, St. Benedict. He founded all the monasteries, so he's honored. And then later you have many, many saints. Well, actually, because there were so many saints' days, they weren't getting enough work done, because these were called holidays or holy days. So they would get the work, they would get the day off. Well, that's why they decided to just have one day and call it All Saints' Day, November 1st, remember? And then November 2nd is All Souls' Day, and that means honoring everyone, all people that have passed on. It was remembering those who we love and have passed on. And in many churches, I know the Lutheran Church, On All Saints Day and All Souls Day, you'll go forward for communion. And then you'll take a candle and just put it in the sand there as a memory and a prayer of thanksgiving for that person's life who influenced you. And, you know, if you do it right, it's just remembering those who have gone before, that have helped us. You know, we're on a train, civilization from back to Adam and Eve. There is, you know, all these generations. And in the generations are people that loved God and chose to walk in his ways. And they passed it to the next generation, passed it to the next generation. Well,